Hello, this is the first video for Math0302 beginning Algebra Chapter 5 Section 2. This is called Adding and Subtracting Polynomials. Here's the definition of a polynomial. It's an algebraic expression containing one or more terms connected with plus and minus signs. Variables are raised to whole number exponents only. In other words, no negative exponents and also no fractional exponents. Okay, now the definition here, that's technically the definition. Here's what it looks like. Now let's remember what a term is. A term is a number or the product of a number and one or more variables raised to powers. Okay. So if we look at the definition for coefficient, or numerical coefficient if you wish, it's the number factor of a term. In other words, it's the number out front of a term. A constant term is just a number. Okay, it's a number with no variable. A variable term is a term with a variable. Like terms are identical except for the coefficient. And a polynomial is a finite set of terms. Okay. Let's go back to the definition of polynomial. Now it says it's an algebraic expression containing one or more terms. Now by expression, that doesn't mean that there has to be an equal sign in it. Okay, it's just an expression. One or more terms means that it can have just one term or it can have multiple ones separated by addition or subtraction. Remember that terms are separated by either plus or minus signs. Let's look at an example here real quick. One example could look like this. Say 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay. This is a polynomial. Notice that we've got a term here, we've got a term here, and we've got a term here. There's only one variable in this polynomial. In this term, this polynomial is raised to the second power. This variable here is raised to the first power. And technically, there's an x to the 0 power here, but we don't really like to write that because it's just a constant term. Okay, if we did put an x to the 0 in there, that's like writing a 1 in front of x, and we don't like to do that. Now then, the 3, the 4, and this negative 1 are the coefficients in these terms. Okay. Now notice that none of these terms are like terms. They're not like terms because the variables are raised to different powers. Okay, they have the same variables, just raised to the different powers. Now if I added on another term here, say plus 7x, that would make this 4x and the 7x to be like terms. Now we do have a bit more nomenclature here. Polynomials with special names. A monomial is a polynomial with only one term. Something like this. 3x. That would be a monomial. But a common there. Another one would be, say, negative 2x cubed. That would be a monomial. Another one would be something like 8. That's a monomial because it's just a constant term. Okay, all constants, if it's just the constant itself, is a monomial. Now, a binomial is a polynomial with two terms. For example, 3x plus 8. Notice that a binomial is just two monomials added together. A trinomial is the same thing, kind of like what binomial is. Just say it's 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, so 3 terms. Tri means 3. So tri means 3, bi means 2, mono means 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now, 4 or more we generally call polynomial. Now, all of these are polynomials. Okay, it's just that we generally just use the term polynomial for 4 or more terms. We'll also sometimes call something a quadrinomial. That's quad just means 4, right? So sometimes we will use that, but not very often. Okay. Each term of a polynomial has a degree. Now, degree is important here. The degree of a term is the sum of the exponents on the variables of the term. Okay, for example, if we have 3x squared, the degree here is 2. But if we have 3x squared y cubed, 2 plus 3 gives me 5. So this is degree 5 polynomial. Or what if we did 3x y squared? If I added up the degree, the exponents on the exponents here, the exponents on the variables here, this would be a 1 plus 2, which gives me 3. Okay. The degree of a polynomial is the greatest degree of any term of the polynomial. Yes, that's a typo, sorry. Do not add all the exponents of all the terms. It's important to remember that, okay? The degree of a constant term is 0. 12 could be written as 12x to the 0, which means its degree is 0, because that's the understood exponent there. Alrighty. There you go. That's a bunch of definitions for you. We're going to leave it there for now. I will end this video and pick it up on the next. See you in a second.